welcome back. I am here with Brad Hudson, our CEO, for his CEO report. Welcome, sir. Good to see you today.
Well, thank you. It's good to be back. You got a new set here. This is exciting.
I like it.
Very nice.
I think it's a good look.
Yeah, I do too.
You look good on this set. That's what I gotta say.
I always thought I should be a newsman. I don't know how I ended up in this business.
Well, today you are a newsman.
Good.
You're going to give us all the news of the village. But you know what's fun is that you have redone the boardroom, and now you've put your efforts toward our wonderful production studio, and we're reaping the benefits. I think this is great.
Well, it's just a few of the many things we're looking to fix. We really have about 30 or 40 years worth of no progress. And so in just a couple of years, we're going to get it all done.
Perfect.
I'm very excited about that.
So you've been out and about in the village, and maybe you can tell us some fun things.
Yeah, the last week or so, I've decided, other than required board meetings, which I usually leave early anyway, and I've been out and driving around and looking at stuff, and so I happened to be in RV Lot B last week, and was there right when they were lowering the new satellite dish for our cable television system, and it's a big,
well, that's exciting.
Well, there it is right there.
That is exciting.
And it's right at behind the head-in building and in RV Lot B.
Wow,
so
look at that.
You can see it there, and the crane, and it was raised and lowered. Paul had a drone out there. I assume he was complying with our drone policy.
Well,
I'm not sure.
Always.
And so they were filming this whole operation.
That's just a section of it, isn't it?
Right. It's pretty huge.
Are we talking to Mars now? What are we doing with this satellite dish?
Well, the one that we've had there is, I think, approaching 20 years old.
That's too old.
Yeah, they don't really have that kind of a lifespan.
No.
And so sometimes we would have some critical failures, and this will alleviate that. Wow. Not that we won't have other failures. Much of our internet and cable TV infrastructure is very old, and so we're going through and systematically updating and replacing it.
Wow.
And so this is part of that effort, and there you go. They're lowering it right down into place. Again, this is just part of a larger effort.
Yes.
We have a lot of nodes and boxes. We have a lot of high-tech equipment and lasers.
Yes.
All that needs to be updated. It's all very, very old. And so when people wonder why the sound's not good, or they have tiling, or they're just not happy with the reception, oftentimes it is some of this backbone stuff.
The infrastructure.
And so this and what we've done inside the head-in building will alleviate most of that. So now when you have a problem, we'll pretty much know it's either in the box adjacent to your manor or in your manor. So we've got it kind of narrowed down, and it'll make those repairs easier. And when we do come out to your neighborhood because of a complaint, we don't just do yours, we get your neighbors cleaned up too.
Yes.
So we're making that a regular program to do that. And so it just happened, I was out there for this, and I decided to look around the RV lot a little bit. I had been out there once or twice, but not paying a lot of attention. And RV parking and the pricing of it and the big line. There's a 30 or 40 resident waiting list.
Yes.
And some of the units out there don't belong in there. They're really storage, not RV. And so we're trying to make room for those folks who have nice RVs. They want to park them here and use them. And so we've gone through and trying to clean the place up. But I took some pictures. I don't know if Paul has those or not, of some interesting. Here, this is a good one right here. Can you bring that up?
Oh, that's great. They're right here behind us.
Yeah, here. This is kind of.
That looks like a great RV.
That's the sort of thing we really aren't looking for.
Okay.
Something that is not an RV or a boat. It's just an old car. It doesn't look like it's been used for a while.
It's got weeds growing
behind it. It doesn't look like our landscape maintenance and pavement maintenance program there is really up to Caltrans standards. So we've got a little. So yes, we're going to clean all that up, including hopefully making this big giant space available for a big RV or boat.
Sure.
And not for a car that obviously hasn't worked in a long time. So.
And it's frustrating when you're on the waiting list and you do see things like this in place.
Oh, I hear from these folks, and they're not happy.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then there were some other. There's a nice restroom facility and picnic facilities out there. There you go. You can see.
Oh wow!
It doesn't look like these have been updated for a few decades.
Sure.
And so I've got a crew out there that's taking care of that. And I ran into this. We're also doing, for you golfers, there's bathrooms at Clubhouse 4 at the lower level outside the
right.
old bridge room.
Yes.
And they're in horrible, they're worse than this. And so I'm having those redone right now as well.
That's wonderful.
So golfers, when you stop there at Clubhouse 4, it's kind of out in the middle of the course there.
It is.
It's the only place you can stop, really.
It is fun. I mean, you can really see
we'll get that taken care of as well.
That's
so,
good.
you know, as we find these problems, and I take care of them. And so, unfortunately, I haven't found them all yet. And then the pavement condition. I mean, if you have RV parking, one of the most important things you'd want to have is nice pavement.
True.
Nothing
No
worse
potholes.
than hitting a big pothole with your RV as you're heading out on your trip. You're going to hit enough of them out there on city streets, you know, not our city, of course, but other cities. And so here we have a giant pothole, and so we're going to get that taken care of as well. And there's just a number of deficiencies. And I also went through RV Lot A, which is the bigger of the two lots, and it has a number of deficiencies as well that we're going through. So between the restrooms with dry rot and just horrible maintenance, we're going to get these areas cleaned up here, this is the
dry
nice
rot.
There's the nice picnic table there for your use. You can see it.
Appetizing.
It probably hasn't been maintained in the last decade or three. So we'll get that removed and something more appropriate put in there. They really are nice facilities.
Yes.
When properly maintained and operated, and that's the key. So we're putting a big effort on getting these things squared away, providing up-to-date, proper management, pricing to match, and really running a first-class facility.
Well, that's wonderful. And you're taking care of this paving in the RV parking lot, but then also there's some other paving that you've been taking care of in some cul-de-sacs?
Yeah, the boards have made a huge priority on paving and concrete. Actually, this is one of the first years, well, it may be the first year ever, where all three boards are proposing to add concrete work specifically within their budgets and reserve plan. And so, quite frankly, the concrete around the community here is 50 years old. I mean, that's a pretty good run for a piece of concrete.
It sure is. It did its job.
You got to replace it and repair it frequently, particularly as it ages. And so these boards are making that commitment. I think we have some overlay work going on in cul-de-sacs. I think it was 222 and 221. Is that
222.
right? Yeah.
That's right.
And so you'll see them out there, and you know, we try to provide proper notification to folks so they know to move their cars, or you know, they may not be able to get out for a couple hours as we're doing things, and so we want people to know about that. We're working on a new communications program we think is going to be a lot better for residents to let them know by text and email and phone call. Hey, they're out in your neighborhood. If you want to go anywhere between 10 and 2, you want to get your car out of the cul-de-sac. So we'll be sending those kind of messages out. We're just refining that system. But we look forward to breaking that out for the residents.
And the work crews are doing a really kind of seamless job. I've been out and around some of the work that they've been doing, and they're really great at directing traffic and keeping the dust down. I mean, they've been doing good. Yeah,
they're all over the place out there, and many of these workers have worked in the community for a long time, and so they understand the challenges residents face, and they try to be proactive and go out and tell people, hey, here, we're doing this, and here's how it might affect you. We can always do better. Communication is the one thing you can always do better at.
That's so true.
Always. You don't never hit the end of the road there. You're always trying to improve, reach more people, reach them earlier, be more accurate with the messaging, and just do a better job so the residents know what the heck is going on.
And that's why we're glad to have you here on Thursdays.
No, this helps out a lot, and
communicate some of this too. So you've been updating some of these restroom facilities, et cetera, out and about, but also the gatehouses 8 and 9. Those gatehouses are a little bit.
They're rustic.
They're rustic. That's a good way of putting it. Okay.
Yeah, we did a number of them last year in mainly in United, particularly 2 and 3. We also did 14 last year, which is in 3rd.
Yeah.
And so right now, and we're trying to get this done before we start the actual gate arm technology project.
True.
So we want to get all the dry rot out, fix the wiring, add new air conditioning.
Oh, they need that.
Oh boy. And then also, some of them have bathrooms that look like that one we just saw. Some of them are worse, actually. And so we'll go ahead and put in probably a tankless water heater, LED lights, and then go ahead and clean up the bathroom. And then we add our technology pieces into that. And then after we're done with the infrastructure, the gate arm technology can come in. The cameras and the arms and everything. It's really we're getting pretty good at this, and so we anticipate those 2 gates. They take a couple. They take maybe 3 or 4 weeks each.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
That's
so
fast.
they'll have those done, and then about the time they're finished with those 2, we hope to come back and start on the technology piece to where we can really secure the community. So we're pretty excited about that. And the gate ambassadors,
they're so great.
God bless them, they're out there, and some of these are really rough.
That's right.
Now we're looking at a couple of others. Gate 12, which is what goes into Village Greens and the golf course and lawn bowling, Clubhouse 2. That gate has to be demolished and rebuilt, and it's a kind of a complicated arrangement with our new system. And so we're designing that probably next year for construction. It's a complete relocation.
Yes.
For construction in 19 probably.
Yeah, 2019
so in 18
completion.
we want to take care of pretty much everything else except 12, and then 9 and 10 we're still, excuse me, not 9 and 10, 10 and 11.
Right.
We're still looking at those to see if those gates should be merged or not. And so we're analyzing that, working with the city, and then we'll just make that decision. It makes a lot of sense financially.
Yes.
By merging those gates, you save maybe $250,000 a year in operating costs. So that's big. But also there's challenges in terms of construction and how the residents may react to a combined gate situation. So we got to work through that. But I think overall it's a better solution for the community to merge those 2 gates. But that wouldn't happen until 19 either.
So we can still get into our beautiful clubhouses.
Yes.
And then Clubhouse 1, you've been doing some work there too with the planting,
well,
the planters.
That's slated for a lot of improvements in next year's budget. What the board has asked us to do is do an assessment of that facility to see what its long-term viability is. You know, what's the structural integrity of the building? What do the mechanical and electrical systems look like?
That's true.
And so before we invest a bunch of money, we're going to, in the next few months, do a very thorough forensic review of that building.
Yes.
And so, notwithstanding that, we have a few things that we have to fix. And these planners have been driving me crazy for a long time.
It's just visually, you know,
well, they look like they're going to
aesthetically.
fall down, too. I don't know if I had a picture of that, I don't know if they got that in there or not.
I don't know.
Anyway, so that kind of back area, which is very popular.
Yes.
There's Tai Chi going on back there, a lot of outdoor events. We do outdoor movies. It's that patio at Clubhouse 1 is very popular. We do barbecues, but it's going to be out of commission here for a couple weeks, and so I just want to let people know. And we're going to get it cleaned up, get those planters. They're really kind of unsafe. You can see they're kind of leaning, and I have never known one to fall over, but they sure look like they're going to fall over.
Like they have the possibility of falling over.
Right, so that we're going to clean that up, and that'll be a big improvement there as well.
You know, some of our residents have houses in other parts of the country. So to understand what California building codes and laws demand, especially since the beginning of Laguna Woods Village, it was built before many of these laws were in place. So understanding the structural integrity of the clubhouses and all of these communal buildings is pretty important.
It is, and they were built well before certainly any seismic standards or any of the modern codes. And we've experienced that, say, with the water heaters, where the code has changed multiple times since we initially put these in. And so when we put a new one in, there's a lot of extra devices and cost that go into that. You know, electronic shut-offs and, you know, things like that. And so it's a big challenge to take a community like this and modernize it and bring it up to current codes. But we're working our way through it. We'll get it done.
And it's the stuff you wouldn't normally see or understand, especially if you're from the East Coast and you have a home here too, and you think, why do you have to do that?
Because we're in California.
Because we're in California and the ground can be a little shaky sometimes. That's right. But it's a good thing to address all of those issues because it's a beautiful community. But of course, it was built before a lot of these building codes were really effective. So it's very good to get back in there and make sure these buildings are safe, shored up, secure.
Right, and we're looking at everything.
Yes.
From every restroom to every recreation facility, outbuilding, underground infrastructure, everything.
That's true.
Yeah, it's really a thorough going through, and there are deficiencies pretty much everywhere, but they're mostly not difficult to take care of, and so we just do it.
Well, the deficiencies at Clubhouse 5 have been taken care of because now you have this wonderful fitness room, and you're moving on to the next step there with the fitness room.
Well, yes, we added a mini gym there a couple months ago. It's very popular.
Yes.
And we're excited about that, and residents up in Third are fairly far away from the other fitness centers,
Right.
and so if they just want to, maybe get a quick workout, get a shower, go to work, or go to their daily affairs, it's pretty hard up there because it's so far away. And so there we have the fitness room, we have the showers and locker rooms, so they're
Great.
very equipped. But now we're adding, and it's in the old billiards room, which is a pretty good sized room there, basically a multi-purpose fitness room where we can offer all kinds of classes to residents.
What kinds of classes?
Because right now, they got to go down to Clubhouse 1 for that,
Right.
and that's a long way.
Yes.
And plus, that gym there is incredibly crowded. I mean, you can hardly offer a class there because you've got pickleballers and badminton players and all
Right.
these other
Very
groups
popular.
that you use all the time.
Yeah.
And so we decided, well, let's do a fitness room up there. We'll offer yoga and Pilates and cycle.
Oh my
the nice spin
goodness.
classes here in the village.
Sure.
Who thought? The risk manager said, you can't do it. Don't offer spin classes. I said,
No.
we're offering spin classes.
Everybody loves spin.
Our residents are going to love spin classes. It's very safe, very...
It's great, low impact
It's
cardio.
low impact. It's a lot of cardio.
Sure.
Yeah, nothing will make you sweat really good like a spin
Good
class.
spin class. My husband loves a spin class.
I do
It's
too.
true.
So we're going to send out a survey to residents. I think it's going to go out today or tomorrow,
Okay.
and just kind of ask, because I think I know what people would like, but let's find out, you
Sure.
know? And so we'll have a menu there and just ask you to check the box. It's very easy to do. And usually when we do these, we'll get 2,000 or 3,000 residents that'll give us their opinion. And that's all we're looking for.
That's a good cross-section.
It's more than statistically valid.
True.
It's like damned accurate.
It's
Yeah.
true.
And so we're very excited to get that out, and then we'll take that feedback and design our curriculum up there around the residents' response. So that's what we're looking to do. It's very exciting, and we're just adding a lot of elements. By the way, fitness is the #1 activity in the village.
It's so popular.
Oh, you can take golf, pickleball, tennis, and damn near everything else and put it
Even
together.
more than pickleball? Even more than pickleball?
More than everything, more than all those things put together.
Oh,
When you
wow.
look at the responses to our surveys, that was the #1 response. And then when we actually looked at our usage and compared it to the survey, it was the highest usage as well by a mile.
Fantastic.
So fitness is the most popular thing in the village. That's one of the reasons why we're upgrading all these facilities and adding new programs and activities. It's what they want. They've told us. We surveyed them. Give us more fitness stuff. And so that we're being responsive to our residents, which is what communication is all about. It's got to be two-way.
It's got to be two-way, and you're offering that, definitely, the two-way communication back and forth. So residents need to let you know what they want to see.
Yeah, so look for the survey. Tell us. I promise you, we will follow your lead on this. That's how this works, and I'm very excited about it. And I know our recreation director Brian Gruner is thrilled to add more programs and services. That's why we brought him in here, because
He's a good
he's
guy.
very pumped up.
Yes.
About offering more and better and cheaper and just the way residents want it. And so I'm very excited.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of great residents here. They have so many interests, and fitness being the top interest of theirs, and so many different ways to express that. You certainly are offering those opportunities.
Oh, they just love it. Can't leave here today without mentioning the United Town Hall at the
right.
Performing Arts Center this evening at 5
Okay.
To talk about the changes to their bylaws. There's been a group of residents and board members who've been working on this probably years.
Yes.
They put on so much time. They've been very thoughtful about it. It's good to come and hear about them. I support the changes, but I think residents need to come and hear the presentation if they're not familiar with the material, and then make up their own decision, cast their vote.
Sure.
And that's the most important thing. I mean, how you vote, that's important, but not as important that you vote. That's the most important thing. Cast your vote, let your opinion be heard
Right.
here in the village, and we will respect the wishes of the majority, of course.
And that's tonight.
That's tonight, 5 o'clock, Performing Arts Center, and we hope a lot of residents will come out. I hate to throw a little teaser out there, but we're going to have little cookies and coffee out there. We're going to take care of you, so come out, listen to the information, and be an informed voter. That's what's important.
It's so important. It's great that United is offering this opportunity as well.
Yeah, well, it's a very transparent board. All our boards are. We're trying to get as much material and information out to residents before decisions are made. As I said before, transparency after the fact isn't very transparent. And so you got to get the information out, let people read it and digest it, come and share their opinions, and then you make a decision. And so we're trying to adhere to that. Doesn't always seem like that. On occasions, emergencies and other things push us to move faster than we probably should.
That's true.
And sometimes we get so excited about doing things that we forget to ask. And so I know residents straighten us out when we do that,
Yes.
and they should. But we are very pumped up and excited about all the changes in the village and making things better and being more transparent, including residents into the decision-making process. So if we get out ahead a little bit, just call us up and tell us to slow down, or come out and talk to your club or group and share the information. We'd be glad to do that.
Wonderful. Well, I know that transparency was one of the goals that you stated at the beginning of this budgetary year. And so you're providing exactly that.
We're trying to do it.
Thank you for coming in
Well,
and
thank
speaking
you.
with
It's
us
always a
today.
pleasure. I love the new set, and everything looks great down here. And I know we're going to break out a new logo and vision for
Yeah, sure.
Village Television, and I think residents are going to enjoy the much better reception, the improved internet service. I might just really quickly.
Yes.
We're putting the satellite in. We're adding these lasers to our internet system, and
Yes,
so
what is that?
Well, we're just trying to improve the bandwidth for residents, and we've added a lot of this already. But sometimes, even though it's supposed to be a benign activity, when we fire up those lasers,
Yes.
it disrupts service for a few minutes. And we thought it would be pretty clean, and so we're going to send out an email on that as well, letting folks know, hey, we're putting these lasers up and we're messing with the nodes, and so you might have a little bit of interruption here and there, but it should be really short-lived.
Sure.
We thought it would be, seconds, but it's turning out more to be like minutes. And so
That's kind of typical,
Yeah, it
though,
is.
in any kind of internet service, especially if you just save your work. Everybody just save your work. Hit the save button.
So
Do it
anyway,
every
we'll get
couple of minutes.
an email out to residents, kind of let them know what we're doing, what the effects might be. But at the end of the day, you're going to get much better bandwidth. So let's go with it.
Wonderful.
Okay.
We'll go with it. And
All right.
thank you, sir, for coming to see us today. And
Thank
we'll
you.
be back next Thursday.
I'll be back. I'm loving this, and with a new set, and we got a better chair here, and I got something to lean on.
I
Got a place
know.
to put my coffee. It's really
We're coming up
a
to
big
speed.
improvement.
Thank you. And thank you for being with us as well. We'll be right back after this.